But in the meantime, Rob, let's talk about the Lakers. And there was some kind of news today. Reports that Darvin Ham is expected to be relieved of his coaching duties by the end of the week.
Was that Johan Buha?
Jovan Buha, the friend of the show.
Yeah, he reported it, Chris, that the people that he's talked with say that it could happen as early as tomorrow, but this week is expected. Correct, Rob G? Yep. That's what
so what are your thoughts on this?
Ridiculous. Just I for real. I mean, this is the world you live in with LeBron too, Chris. Some people think he's the GOAT, and if they don't win, you become the scapegoat. No matter who it is, that something went wrong, and that's where we are. I'm not. Is Darvin Ham the greatest coach who ever coached in the NBA, Chris? No. But come on, you can't keep running people out every time something doesn't go right. And you took the time to hang that banner, and I keep talking about the in-season tournament because it was supposedly a big deal, wasn't it, Chris? Was that
they put a banner up, which just says a lot considering you're the Lakers and you got 17 championships,
right?
So I agree. Like you I didn't have a problem with it, but now you want to act like it was.
It don't matter. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like now you're saying it didn't matter and it's no big deal. So you put the banner up and you lose in the series, a gentleman's sweep. And now Darvin Ham has to be sacrificed. It doesn't sit right with me because you can't keep doing this. And then I got to look at JJ Redick or Ty Lue as did you see that?
Well, not Ty. I mean, Ty Lue.
No, that's what
the Clippers have a year left with him under contract.
But Rob, Dave McMenamin is throwing that out there, Chris.
The Lakers want him.
Yeah. Oh, now they want him.
They want him, but how they gonna get him out of that? What are they gonna have to give up?
And I'm not.
I mean, for the Clippers to hook up the Lakers?
No, and if I'm Steve Ballmer, I'm not doing that. I don't care.
Why would I? Right, even if he wasn't gonna coach for me, he's not coaching for you.
Exactly.
That's for darn
Not
sure.
as long as he's under contract with me.
No. But I agree with you. Darvin Ham, could he coach when you won the in-season tournament?
No.
Could he coach when you went to the Western Conference Finals last year in his first season as a coach? Could he coach? He maneuvered the Russell Westbrook stuff, the mess y'all created. He maneuvered it up until the trade deadline. And then y'all traded him. And then all he did was help get y'all to the Western Conference Finals. When y'all were bragging about finishing the season 11-3.
Yep.
And with one of the top 5 records in the second half of the season. Could he coach then?
And there was no mention, Chris, of not being able to get any kind of rhythm because of injuries and the cohesiveness. How did you win 11 out of 14 to close it out then?
And Rob, LeBron, after the playoff series against Denver, mentioned the injuries.
I know.
When he was asked about, well, what do you make of the team? He's like, we were injured all the time. Every time we got going, somebody got hurt. It's hard to know what we were. And Rob, look, they were arguably one of the top 5 teams in the NBA.
Chris, who did we just have on the radio?
Antonio Daniels.
Who did he pick in the series?
Lakers.
Hello. Did he? Would you have picked him if he would have been like, I don't know who they are. They're inconsistent. They're injury. They're riddled with injury. There's no way they can win. He picked them. That's how good he felt about the team, Chris.
And Rob, had they not faced Denver, they may have been favored over just about anybody else in the West. Now, I'm not saying they definitely beat Minnesota or OKC or the Clippers, but it would have been tough. And they even played, they got beaten a gentleman's sweep, but those games were close. And again, like you said, we're not saying Darvin Ham is red.
No,
he made some mistakes. He's got a lot to learn.
Yes.
But when Rob, the list, first, let's go down the list. JJ Redick. Now, I do think JJ Redick will be a good coach when he starts coaching in the NBA for a young team. He interviewed with Charlotte. Something like that. But Rob, he's a contemporary
100%
of LeBron and AD.
They ain't
about to listen, I don't think,
It's a
They're
mistake.
about to give you that respect, right?
They're going to listen to JJ because he won how many championships?
Yeah, would that be 0?
Would that be 0? So
He's LeBron's podcast partner. You
Right.
think that's going to be some authority
How
figure?
good is that? How good is that? Right. And that's the issue.
Rob,
That's the
Steve
issue.
Kerr and Phil Jackson, they weren't great players in their day. To your point, they did win championships. They were role players on championship teams. But even beyond that, Rob, they coached the next generation.
Yes.
They didn't coach a bunch of dudes who used to take them to the hole, dunk on them, and talk trash to them.
100%.
Seriously, it's just different. JJ Redick's their age.
But that's because, Chris, he has a high profile, you know that, and people get caught up. I'm going to tell you this. It's the same thing that happened, Chris, and this is probably the biggest example. I don't know if you remember. When Matt Millen was doing television and doing football, you would listen to that guy and be like, this dude knows everything about football. Am I right, Chris?
Yep.
Everything.
He was good on TV.
He was great. He was great on television, okay, Matt?
He was good at ESPN, yep.
And people used to listen to Matt and go, man, this guy knows everything about football. What? Blah, 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 right? Matt had no experience, Chris, as a general manager, and then the Lions turned over the keys to him, and he probably turned in the worst 9 years or whatever it was and arguably the worst general manager in pro sports.
Yeah,
and
historically bad.
And all I'm saying is be careful when you listen to somebody tell you, you know what I mean, talking about the game, and this whole notion that just put JJ Redick in there and this will be great or whatever because he knows basketball. I'm against.
All the coaches know X's and O's, right?
Thank you.
I mean, they all know X's and O's. There's no doubt about it. Now, you got to be able to relate to the players. You have to be able to get their respect. They have to be willing to listen to you. Like, it's a lot involved in it, but they all know X's and O's. I'm not saying some aren't better than others in X's and O's, but they know it. But here, Rod, let's go through some of the other names because to show you how foolish this is. Mike Budenholzer. Well, there were similar complaints about him in Milwaukee to what there are with Darvin in L.A. He doesn't make adjustments in the playoffs. What's he doing? Now, they fired him in Milwaukee. I always thought Budenholzer was a good coach. And now I bet you they wish they had him back.
No doubt about it. I don't care what they say.
Right. So that just shows you every coach you can criticize and find fault with. So that's two of the ones. Why are you bringing them in over? And not to mention, Darvin was a longtime assistant for Budenholzer in Atlanta and Milwaukee. Rob, another name out there, Terry Stotts.
How many times we got to hear about Terry Stotts?
What all did he do in Portland?
Nothing.
Right? I mean, he's a good coach, good offensive mind. Defense was always terrible. But really? Like, what? Okay, what were some other names? Oh, Kenny Atkinson.
Okay.
I bet that'll go over well with LeBron and AD.
He was in Brooklyn.
I mean, yeah, and Kyrie and KD ran him out of town.
Yep. As soon as they got there, if you remember.
Yeah.
As soon as they got there. Yep.
Mark Jackson, I'd love to see him get a shot, but, I don't think that'll happen.
No,
His
we
name
already
was out
talked
there.
about that, yeah.
What was another name?
Who was the other name that was? Oh, yeah, we already talked about it. It was
Borrega was out there again. He got fired up. Where was he at? Charlotte, Orlando, one of those places. I mean, it's a bunch of retreads is the point.
And Rajon Rondo, Chris, is being mentioned.
Again.
Wait a minute. Jerry Stackhouse was available. He coached at Vanderbilt. I'm just saying.
Rob, here's the thing.
At least he coached, Chris.
There's
at least he was
Phil Jackson out there. I get it. When the Lakers went to Phil Jackson, it's like, okay, it's Phil Jackson. He's won everywhere. And that worked out. These guys are retreads. That doesn't mean they're not good coaches, but you're not getting anything in them that you don't know you couldn't eventually get from Ham.
There you go.
Right? He's going to improve. He's already actually had a little bit of success. He's going to improve. Talk to him about the challenges instead of just smiling in his face and then talking to the media behind his back about how you about to axe him. Why don't you be a man and talk to him about Darvin? We need you. This is what we were disappointed
Here are
with.
areas that we need to improve in, okay?
Right.
And that we need you to do better. because obviously they were doing something all right when they won the in-season and when they finished 11-3, Chris, going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it ain't like, I'm with you. None of the other guys you're talking about are you positive they're going to be better than Darvin Ham? Not one
at
of
all.
them.
I mean, you're just making change for change sake. And Rob, good organizations don't get a new coach every 2 years.
No.
Denver. Mike Malone's been there several years now. Now you got Chris Finch in Minnesota. I bet you he's not going anywhere for a long time.
Nope.
When Utah had Jerry Sloan, Rob never won a champion. Kept Jerry Sloan.
Jerry Sloan was coach for about 25 years, right? At least. At least.
And they won a lot. You don't just make change for Eric Spoelstra's another one, Rob. When LeBron and D Wade that first year together, they wanted him out.
And Pat Riley wouldn't do it.
Yep. This is what I say to the Lakers, Rob. Because Pat Riley empowered Spoelstra. When they thought, he got too much swag for a dude who ain't done nothing. Pat Riley said, look, this is the coach, period. And if you're going to win, it's going to be with him. And they went out there and they played for him. I get it that the Lakers don't have anybody with the clout of Riley, Rob.
No.
But if Jenny Buss or Rob Pulling, if they said, look, this is our coach. We're not changing. We're not going to pay Darvin Ham for the next few years and then pay somebody else. And he didn't do a terrible job. This is your coach. Now, like you said, Rob, if you want to test me, that's a test for LeBron. I don't know that LeBron wants him out or not.
No, but that would be you
right?
could say, well, if you don't want to be, he's our coach. So
right.
So you have a right. You could come back or opt out. This is what we're doing here. We're not going to change coaches again, and hang a banner and all this other stuff, and then act like none of it mattered. Which one is it? Which one is it?
And like you said, we're not acting like Darvin Ham is God's gift to coaching.
Not at all.
Or that he didn't make some mistakes.
But there's nobody there, Chris,
right.
out there.
Give me the name.
Right.
Mike D'Antoni's name was out there, for goodness sake. Really?
And
you want to go that route again? He already coached you.
And what did he win?
Right.
And what did he win?
He wasn't good. The Lakers, obviously it didn't go well. I mean, it's change for change's sake. That's all it is. Rob, Mike Brown got fired by the Lakers and the Cavs. Now he's in Sacramento doing a great job. Ty Lue got fired by the Cavs.
Yep.
I'm just saying this, we talked about it with Antonio. If the players get all the credit, but then when they lose, it's the coach's fault.
It can't be that way. It can't. I've said that all the time. There's a lot of that going on, and the same thing. They don't want to give. If the players play well, it's all about them, and then you can't because Chris, it has to go hand in hand both ways.
Yeah.